So this past weekend gone, I finally opened up my brand new tropical fish store, which you can see behind me. And it was a really successful opening. We had a lot of people come through, and when I was having conversations to people, it really occurred to me some of the things that I haven't been explaining on this channel, or like some of the questions that people were asking just really surprised me. So one of the most common things I got asked is like, what's a great bottom dwelling fish for my tank? In today's video, I'm going to give you guys some suggestions on what you can keep for the bottom of your tank. I've got 5 suggestions. I'm going to go into depth on each one. So it's not going to be like a crazy short video, but I'm going to try and give you guys a bit of the information that I've learned teaching people about all the fish in the shop and keeping them, and we've got a lot of really cool bottom dwellers in the shop, so I thought I'd show you some. So one of my new favourite bottom dwellers is in this tank, and we actually have these available right now. This is a bottom dwelling cichlid, and it can like go up and down throughout the tank. Like it's not going to just purely stay on the bottom, but it does stay in that bottom section of the tank. And this is the Bolivian Butterfly Ram. So you can get these like pretty much all across anywhere. Like they're very, very commonly available. But I've recently got these ones in, and I've just fallen in love with them. They've done fantastically in my shop. I think last weekend we only sold a few of them, but they still did really well coming in here, and they've looked amazing. Now, they're actually hiding behind me. I don't know if I can corral them to come back over to the other side of the tank, but something cool about this fish is if you get a pair, like a male and a female, there's a really, really high chance they're going to spawn, and we've actually had some spawning in the tank. I haven't seen any eggs. I saw them all pairing off yesterday and are getting ready to breed. I'm not too sure. There's lots of other fish in this tank that would have been eating the eggs if they had laid them. So I'm going to pull out a pair, make a breeding video on these guys, and show you how to raise them up because they are seriously cool, and I haven't talked about them before. So they're a great little bottom dwelling cichlid. They prefer soft water, and to keep these guys, I'd keep them in a 3-foot tank. I mean, you could try a pair in a 2-foot tank, but it might be a little bit crowded depending on what else you have. So my suggestions is 3-foot tank to a 4-foot tank. They've loved this big tank that I've got them in. And I think there's maybe 8 or so left. It'd just be amazing if they came back over to this side of the tank. Food-wise, they're going to eat pretty much everything. Community flakes, all that kind of stuff. They're very, very easy to take care of. The most important thing is you get a good supply of them. If you don't get a good supply, like a lot of them come in skinny and just looking dingy, you're definitely going to have a hard time keeping them. But if you can get some really good ones, they're just an amazing fish. So they are related to the German blue rams. These are just more of a wild looking one that stays a little bit bigger, but these are a really cool fish. Okay, so another one of my favorite bottom dwelling fish for a community tank or any kind of tank is the Kuhli Loach. Now you can see in here we have these jumbo Thai Kuhli Loaches. These are just a Kuhli Loach. They're just really, really big ones. And you can see they're swimming around like little water snakes, and they just look amazing. They're so cool. You can get the black ones. I do have a few black ones available in the shop, but these are the Kuhli Loach. They have this beautiful striped pattern. They look fantastic, and they're gonna stay right on the bottom of the tank. They're more nocturnal, so you're more likely gonna see them at night, and you're not gonna see them a lot in a big tank unless you're feeding. They're very easy to take care of. They're super peaceful. They need small foods because they've got a really small mouth, but they're never going to harm any of your other fish. They go great in a community tank. Like these are a perfect little community fish. You can see they'll all be hiding underneath this driftwood, and what I'm going to do is lift it up and you'll just see a bunch of little snakes start swimming around. So there you go. So they do like to hide underneath stuff. But yeah, the Kuhli Loach is just a great little community fish. They're like your standard community water, like 24 degrees Celsius, which is 76 degrees Fahrenheit. They always just stay down the bottom of your tank, and they can be just a great addition for a little community tank. Another super popular bottom dwelling fish is the Corydoras. So there's so many cories available throughout the whole world. There's like, hundreds of different types of cories. This tank you can see behind me has a few of our stir-by cories. So I actually bred these ones myself. I do have tons of them available right now. They're great for a 20-gallon tank. I'd keep a school of about 6 of them, and I try and just do like a school of only one type. I see a lot of people pick out 2 and 2 and 2 of different cories and mix them all together, and sometimes it works, but most of the time these cories only school with each other within their separate types. So like stir-bys with stir-bys, pandas with pandas. Some of my favorite beginner cories are bronze cories. We actually have some of those in the shop that have been breeding like crazy. Albino cories are great beginner ones. Panda cories, Triliniatus cories, like all of those are great beginner cories. Even our stir-bys are amazing little cories. Like I said, these guys are going to stay right down the bottom of your tank. They're going to sift through sand, they're going to sift through gravel. I've talked about it a lot, but it's best to have a sand or a really fine gravel substrate for them. Really sharp gravel is going to cut up their barbels because they're just going to be sifting through it all day. Experiment with feeding these guys some worms. When feeding them worms, they just go crazy. It's one of their favorite foods. They will eat flakes, they will eat little sinking pellets. You have to make sure food's getting down to the bottom so they can eat it, but they're really easy fish to take care of and have just done fantastically for me. I'm breeding so many out the back, it's not even funny. There'll be a video on that too, breeding the Corys, all the different types, and I'll show you exactly how to do it. So yeah, and then down in this tank, we have another one of my favorite bottom dwelling fish, the Bristlenose pleco. We actually have quite a few different types of Bristlenose in at the moment. So we have commons, albinos, and these super reds. We also have a few long fins. With this part of the video, I also want to express that you can also keep like a normal type of pleco. So any of your L numbers can be great bottom dwelling fish, but these Bristlenose plecos are a fantastic little bottom dweller. A lot of people don't realize how much waste they can produce. They do need quite a big tank. So in a 20-gallon tank like this, I'd probably keep like 3 at most, just in a community tank. You will need like a specialty food, so a little algae wafer to feed these guys because they don't take onto flakes and stuff as easily. Mine aren't that fussy, the ones that I breed, but some of the other ones just like to eat algae wafers and a bit of community pellet or whatever, and they do fantastic. They always stay right down the bottom of your tank. You're going to see them when you feed. You might not see them that often. They're not going to be swimming around. Like, they'll just hide in and amongst the tank, and they're just something you'll notice when you really have a good look at your tank. You'll see these little guys in and around the driftwood. A nice thing about them is they do like to eat that surface algae on your tank, so that the green sludge that kind of grows over the front of your tank, they will clean that up. They don't eat hair algae and stuff like that, but that surface algae, they'll just smash. So you can see how clean this tank is. They're not going to let any algae grow in here. Yeah, they're just super happy. So they're more of a soft water fish. You can keep them in like an alkaline water, but they do like that softer water, and they'll do a lot better in it, and they can get quite big. And there's tons of info on my channel about these guys, but yeah, plecos can be just a great little bottom dweller. And finally, one of my other favorite bottom dwelling species is not actually a fish, this is a shrimp. So I know this is labeled the best bottom dwelling fish, but I wanted to throw the shrimp in there just in case you hadn't thought of it. So little cherry shrimp can be a fantastic bottom dwelling species for your tank. They will go in and amongst plants and stuff, and they can get quite high on the tank, but I'd consider them more of a bottom dweller. They're gonna stay like in and around the bottom of your tank, so they're bottom dwellers. My recommendation is red cherries, yellow cherries, and blue dreams. They'd be fantastic little beginner shrimp for you guys. Something to note with shrimp is you can't keep them with bigger fish. So some of the fish that I'd recommend keeping shrimp with is they go really well with Bristlenose plecos in my opinion. They can do all right with endler guppies, but the larger endler guppy is going to eat the baby shrimp because these shrimp will breed really, really easily. Little rasboras like chili rasboras do great. There's a whole bunch of different types of fish you can keep them with, but you can't keep them with bigger fish like angelfish. They're just going to clean them up and you won't have any more cherry shrimp. So something important about cherry shrimp is they're really easy to take care of, but you do have to acclimate them as well as you can. Sudden stress, these guys will kill them. You need to be very, very slow with your acclimation. So introducing them into a tank, you need to do it really slowly, but yeah, shrimp just do fantastic in a lot of different tanks and they just breed like crazy. So I do have a few shrimp available, but nothing crazy at the moment, nothing like that insane. But yeah, shrimp can just be a great little addition to a nano tank, and they're so cute. I see kids light up about them, and they're just a great little bottom dweller. So thank you so much for watching the video, guys. I hope you learned something. I hope you are inspired to get a few little bottom dwellers for your tank, and I'll see you guys in the next one.